Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I thought it would be fun to rate tattooed characters in video games, as I love video games and I love tattoos as a tattooed person and a former tattoo artist. So I compiled a little list of tattooed characters. This is a very short list, there are so many more. So if you did like the video and you want a part 2, let me know in the comments. So the very first person on this list is Judy from Cyberpunk 2077. If people are talking about tattooed characters, then Judy is pretty much always mentioned. People absolutely love her tattoos. Now, Cyberpunk 2077 has so many tattooed characters and so many great tattoos, but it seems like Judy really is the most popular, so I'll be talking about her tattoos today. Let's talk a little bit about Judy first before we get into the tattoos, because with most of the characters, their personality and their background really is reflected into their tattoos, so there is a lot of significance there. You meet Judy pretty early in the game. She is a member of the Mox, a gang in Cyberpunk that protects sex workers, and she is a braindance editor. A braindance is pretty much virtual reality except to the extreme. You feel all the emotions of the person that has recorded the braindance, and a raw one even lets you walk around and look at things in detail. Now, Judy herself is a little bit more wary of you at first, but as you progress in the game, you get to know her a lot more. One thing that you find out is that she absolutely loves to dive, and that gets me to the tattoos. You see a lot of aquatic themed tattoos on her, and you see a lot of Mox related tattoos. If you are a very tattooed person, you either love to connect your tattoos or you love to spread them out. Judy is definitely the latter. She loves to just have separate tattoos all over her body, and that's very popular these days. We also see some of them done in red ink. However, I do very strongly advise caution when getting a red ink tattoo, because the red ink, the pigment itself, tends to be a little bit more troublesome than other pigments. There is always a risk of being allergic to every pigment out there, but red ink just has a higher percentage. So if you do get a red ink tattoo, I would strongly suggest first getting a little test dot and see how you react to it. Overall, I think Judy's tattoos look very clean, they look very neat, they're done very well. I personally don't love the flash tattoos as much. I'm somebody that does like to connect my tattoos. Overall, I give Judy a 7 out of 10. I couldn't make this video without talking about this person. It's Jack from Mass Effect. I absolutely love her tattoos. I think they are absolutely amazing, and I love Jack. Now, Jack is somebody that you meet in Mass Effect 2, and depending on your choices, she also might be in Mass Effect 3. She is a very interesting character. She is a convict. You recruit her for this unalive mission, and just like Judy, it takes quite a while for her to warm up to you. She comes off as extremely intimidating, and her tattoos kind of help with that. When you start talking to her, you find out she has a very traumatic past and has a lot of issues trusting people. However, across these two games, her arc is absolutely amazing. She helps out these kids to make sure that they won't have to go through what she did. At one point in the game, she even talks about her tattoos. You can ask her what her tattoos mean. Now, probably every tattooed person has had this question at one point, but it is pretty interesting the way she talks about them. Her tattoos are kind of a warning, but also to remind her of the past, the things that she has gone through. And it's a very interesting way for Mass Effect or BioWare to really show you what this character is all about. Now, if we take a little closer look to her tattoos, they are a little bit messy. She has some overlapping tattoos, and most of her tattoos are done with a lot of black ink. I personally love this style. obviously I'm also kind of covered in that. Now, a lot of people don't seem to realize how difficult this technique truly is. It is insanely difficult to get a very even black throughout the tattoo, and hers look pretty clean. They look good. I am also a little bit biased because I do literally have her tattoos that she has on her arms. The spine tattoo, I have that on my leg. Normally I would say no to tattoo copying, but as she is a fictional character, I'm sure she won't mind. Beside her black work, she also has some more delicate tattoo work. She has some portraits on her arm. When you take a look at the official artwork, you can see them a little bit better, and they're done pretty well. Overall, I think her tattoos look great. I also think her tattoos are pretty unique. I've never really seen another video game characters with her kind of tattoos. So I give Jack a 8 out of 10. The next character is from a game I actually haven't played myself before, but as I was doing some research, I came across it and I just feel like I had to talk about it. It's Ray from Fatal Frame 3. Now, her tattoos are a different story because they are not voluntarily. They kind of show up. It's kind of like a curse, and the more hurt she is, the more they start to appear all over her body. So her tattoos are a little bit more in a Japanese style. Let's take a little closer look at them. So she has a snake and a holly, and they refer to this specific curse. If you do look at them from a distance, they become a little bit difficult to read, but up close, they're pretty detailed and quite nice actually. It is, however, a pretty sad thing that these are done against her will, no matter how good they look. I give Ray's tattoos a 6.5 out of 10. Next on the list is Fenris from Dragon Age 2. Now, Fenris also does not like his tattoos. They are done with a special magical substance called lyrium. They do, however, give him some magical abilities in return. Fenris is from Tevinter, and unfortunately the elves there are treated as a lesser race. A lot of them end up as slaves. Fenris is a escaped slave, however. He comes to Kirkwall and there you meet him. His tattoos remind him of this past, and that's why he absolutely despises them. Plus, he's not a big fan of magic and mages. Let's take a little closer look at the tattoo. I think they work well with his slightly darker complexion, as the tattoo itself is done in white. In real life, if you get a white ink tattoo, it's a little bit tricky. White ink doesn't really stay in the skin very well. It never really stays a very pristine white. It usually turns a little bit yellowish, especially with a lot of sun exposure. White ink is usually used for little highlights in big pieces, but not so much as a whole tattoo on its own. His tattoo is one tattoo that covers his entire body, and it's very simple line work, but very effective in my opinion. I think his tattoo does really add to his character design, and I think it looks good on him. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. The last person on this list is Sophia from Plague Tale Requiem. Now, there isn't a lot known about Sophia herself. You meet her kind of halfway into the game, and she is a pirate. And that's pretty much all that we know about her past and her origins. We don't know where she really comes from, but Sophia herself is very nice. I really liked her character. She really helps out our main characters, and she becomes kind of this protective mom. At first I wasn't sure if her tattoos are actually permanent or if they're done by henna, but looking at it, I do think they are permanent. As I said, we don't really know where she comes from, but her tattoos really remind me of Amazigh tattoos, and I don't really know a whole lot about this topic, so I'll quote an article right here. This is from AmazighWorldNews.com. The Amazigh people, indigenous to North Africa, have a rich cultural heritage. that extends back thousands of years. One fascinating aspect of their culture is the art of amazigh, also known as Berber tattoos. These intricate and symbolic tattoos have served as a means of self-expression, identity, and connection to tradition for generations. Sophia's tattoos in her face are very simple, however her hands and her arms are a lot more intricate. Most of them seem to be kind of floral designs. She also has these designs all over her clothing, so it must be something very important to her, and I think they really fit her. I will give her a 7 out of 10. So that was everyone on the list. Once again, if you have enjoyed this video and you want a part 2, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.